There are 5 examples of bias in performance appraisal. First, recency effect. Second, halo effect. Third, central leniency and strictness tendency. Fourth, prejudice and stereotyping. Lastly, fifth, fatigue. First example of bias in performance appraisal is recency effect. Recency effect can happen when manager only consider the most recent performance of the workers and ignore the earlier works of the workers. Next is halo effect. People tend to like mostly those who are similar to themselves in background and lifestyle. The next example is central leniency and strictness tendency. Another example is prejudice and stereotyping. Prejudice can be racial, religious, or sex or age-based. For instance, a supervisor from one state may be prejudiced against people from another state in the country. The last example of bias in performance appraisal is fatigue. For example, for the first few appraisals, the manager will consider each evaluation very carefully, but as the deadline draws near, he may not give sufficient thought to the matter, and as a result, his subordinates may get the bad rating.
Implementing an appraisal system. There are 2 important steps need to be taken to ensure successful implementation. Firstly, it is essential that workers understand the system and are made aware of the performance features and the confidentiality of the system. Secondly, managers must be trained in how to implement the appraisal system. There are some weaknesses and difficulties of appraisal systems. Subjectivity of performance, the halo effect, central tendency, and different values judgment. Subjectivity of performance. For example, imagine we ask a group of people to rate different fruits based on taste and texture. These ratings wouldn't tell us very much about the fruits themselves. Instead, we will learn which fruits the people like or don't like based on their individual preference. The halo effect. For example, a worker's enthusiasm or the positive attitude may overshadow their lack of knowledge or skill. Central tendency and different values judgments. As a conclusion, the manager should introduce the performance appraisal system in organizational, revise the performance appraisal policies and procedures.